Hi, gorgeous. Welcome to another success interview from the Success Interview series here at Hard Sales Academy. I am so super pumped to have our guest today, Miranda Oben. Miranda is not just an amazing human being, which she managed to get different passions she had together and really provides a lot of value to the world. One is she is an IT engineer. So which you might think very logical, but that's not just it. She is so much more passionate that she has created beautiful projects. One project is the Speakers Arena 50 Nations, where she is a founder and president, but she has also a project called the Returnees Project. And we're going to find out more about her in this interview. So first of all, welcome, Miranda.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm so glad to be here today. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation. Hello, everyone watching.
Yeah, I'm so excited we got together for this. Let's start by just telling a little bit what you do, because I feel it's so complex that I did not do this justice. Like we have so many things going on. You're so creative, have such a big vision. So yeah, give us a little bit of a background, what you do.
Yeah, just like you say, anything would look complex if you don't put a structure to it. So to the world, it might look complex, but for me, it's just a structure and a lot of discipline and focus. So in English, you would say, to whom much is given, much is expected. So when I think of something that can impact the world, can give value to the world, no matter where, it could be in the USA, Germany, the UK, or Africa, or any part of the world. The moment I get that going, I have that blessing to find the right people with whom I can connect and do the work. So any compliment which is given to me for my visions or my projects, I give it back to my project teams who work behind the scenes, so I can sit here and smile and look like I'm doing it all. No, credit goes to the people working with me. So I am a wife, I'm a mom, and I am an IT engineer. So you can imagine my day starts with waking up, being the mom of the house, especially currently where we're mostly working from home. And then I'll go into my normal IT work, which goes till 5 p.m. But then what do I do after that? When the little man is playing with his friends or maybe talking on the phone with his cousins and my husband is maybe watching football, I watch, but alongside I check messages to see updates of the Speakers Arena, which brings together 15 nations. And that idea was I just saw the world was becoming like just one global village. And what beauty is it to have like a network which has people from so many different backgrounds, so many different professions coming together. So sometimes I'm a wife, sometimes I'm a mom, sometimes I'm an IT engineer, or just that young visionary who puts out projects out there and finds beautiful people like you, Christine, who come on board and give me just the right tools to implement the projects. But when I'm not doing all this, I hold the microphone to speak in English or French or German to host conferences or gala events which bring impact in any sector in life. So, well, that's just a little summary about me, Christine.
Yeah, I just love it. I love your big vision. So, yeah, tell me a little bit, like, where did we meet? Like, what do you remember? And yeah, how did our paths cross? And then also, how did we get into working together?
To the best of my knowledge and my memory, it's always when I read something that impacts me, I want to know more about the person. It might have been a post, if I remember correctly, on social media, something you wrote. And there is a way that those messages speak to me. I always have this open heart when I have time to go through Facebook or LinkedIn or any of the social media platforms. So it could have been LinkedIn or Facebook, but it was something you wrote. You wrote about how we could sell from the heart, how we could impact by just using our heart. And that's something I'm passionate about, to say when you do something from your heart, you'll be able to. I read more and more about you, and I was so interested in knowing this young lady who could write so much and understand so much about impact and emotions and being authentic, because that's what I read in you. So the way you would put your message out there, that just drew me to you. And I was the one who made the first move and got in touch with you and said, we're having the Speakers Arena, which brings 50 speakers from 50 nations on stage in Nuremberg in Germany. Would you like to be one of my speakers? And you said yes. That made me really happy.
Yeah, it was such a phenomenal event that you put together. And I so support that vision, because I do believe we're all one. And if we develop more understanding for each other, if we understand a different culture, right, there's less fear involved. And we actually can transform from fear or skepticism into understanding, which then kind of evens the way for the heart, for the love to come in, for the compassion, and really create something magical instead of, going at each other with not understanding or even in an aggressive way, right? So that vision was amazing. It was beautiful to be on your stage and to share that vision. And you brought that to life. So it's now a event that happens once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
We're going to put the link to the Speakers Arena so people can check it out and can apply either as a speaker or they can get a ticket as a guest. So definitely you do not want to miss when 50 nations come together, all sharing that huge vision and creating something beautiful, which I believe the world needs that more than ever, especially in these times.
Thank you. So, and as a matter of fact, Christine, I was just thinking, there's something I always tell people, in whatever you do, be authentic and do it with your heart. You never know who is watching. And that was an example of also passing on the message out to people that whatever it is you do in the world or on social media, I tell people usually be an inspiration. Try to seek to inspire and empower with your words, because you never know who is watching. The way I was drawn to you, Christine, it was just amazing. There was this way you put out your message. And for everyone watching, and especially for the speakers coming on board again for the Speakers Arena, because that those people who come back again and tell me the positivity they got from the event, it was like phrases that came out on stage on that day. Christine, your message. I have always heard this thing about hurt people. And I was like, oh, okay. But you've changed it. And I quoted you in one of my interviews last year when I said, Christine would say, happy people make people happy. Thank you for that, Christine, honestly.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's something I do feel. And we really need to think about that. How do we want to show up? What do we want to put into the world? Because how we show up, that's what we also get back, right? That's the vibration we put out. That's how we connect with whatever is out there. So yeah, totally true. So then, we met in person in Nuremberg and we had a wonderful time. What made you decide to kind of seek out my advice?
Oh, Christine, in a conversation, right? When I was talking to you, I realized you do understand what it is that as a human, each person wants. Each person wants to be heard. Each person wants their vibration to come across, and those who will resonate with us will connect with us. So the fact that we need to understand what each person wants, you made me shift from thinking, so what can I offer these people? What can I offer these people to? What will these people want to have? Right? So the Speakers Arena was amazing. We were there, 50 nations, 50. I mean, those who are watching now, just check that out on YouTube and watch the video of 2019. But then when I talked to you, Christine, you made me understand it was so amazing. I offered a lot and it was great, but you made me see the value I could offer the people now by looking from their perspective. What would they want to have? And how I can make them see that this value is on the Speakers Arena platform. It is there, but you have to show them. You have to make the message clear to them. So one thing I got working with you is just that conversation. We first had a very short conversation during the event because I had so many people coming to talk to me, but you made me understand that with this big vision, I could shift it to offering the value and the people see the value they get from it, because it was all amazing, but point out the things you have offered and make sure for next year, Miranda, you get these people to put in money into this, because when they see the value, and you are such an authentic person, and if you tell them and offer it on a platform where they see what they will get by coming to the speakers arena, more people are going to come. And with one conversation that day at the event, I said, okay, I definitely have to call Christine after that. Christine, what made me work with you is that after our first call, the next calls and next emails my team sent out, we had so many people booking to speak at the speakers arena. And because of the value we offer, and they saw the value because of you told me the structure I have to put out with my teams. If you check on the websites, everyone watching this, you'll see so many speakers. There are diamond speakers, gold speakers, silver speakers. If I hadn't met you, Christine, I would not have known how to put that structure in a way that we see the value which is already there. If I hadn't met you, Christine, I would not have had so many people willing to pay that amount of money to be on the platform of the speakers arena, because they will get the marketing, the communication, the branding, and are able to monetize their products on stage in such an elegant way that you made me see the value I'm offering them, so I can consciously move from just making these wonderful events where people come and share their message to the world, interact, get high-paying clients, increase their ROI. All those things were there. All of this was offered, but you made the structure come in. There was no structure. There was just an amazing event, but we had to put that in blocks, which I didn't even think about it. I was just all happy with the way it worked. My team was grateful to have that feedback. But you put the product and the structure. And if I tell you how many people have booked and how much money came in to this project, I think I'll need to tell you off camera, Christine, but thank you really for putting the structure in my mind, in our teams, and on the speakers arena. And now we went even more global and are more marketed and are more solicited. We can't choose everybody right now. We have to select the speakers because you made us see the value in what we were offering, and you had people willing to pay because they saw what they get out of this. And now when I say you really are the queen of the sales success mindset, it's because you understand how to offer value. So people don't look at the price. They look at what will I get if I came on this platform. And if you're able to offer that value and really make someone's life and someone's business and someone's, impact them in a way that their business takes off in a great dimension and direction, then definitely, Christine, I personally, I'm not leaving your side. I'm with you every week. We're talking every week, and I'm just making sure I learn as much as I can from you. And my team, of course, extends greetings to you and thanks you for the structure, the value, and of course, a lot more that you made us earn on this platform. Thank you, Christine.
Awesome. Yeah, I know we didn't want to say numbers, but can you kind of maybe say like a percentage, like what happened, like you were here and now you're here, like what does a bridge look like?
It is huge. I want to be humble in this case and just say it is huge. It is huge because, first of all, that structure and the clarity made the pricing go hand in hand with the value of the first event already. So I would say, Christine, from the first event, that gives me a chance to thank each person watching now who took part in the very first event. We went with the vision. Within 2 months, we were on stage. We were from all these different nations, Croatia, the USA, the UK, France, Germany, all these different nations which were present on that day. We built something of value. Christine, you took it, turned it around, and it became not just something of value, but something people were willing to pay a good amount of money to be a part of, right? So in percentage, I could tell you the first year was a vision we stepped out with. The second year, I'll just say it, right? And anybody who wants to get in touch with me to understand deeply what this means in figures, I'm willing to exchange on a one-on-one. But I checked it out with my team 2 weeks ago, and we're at return on investment of 2,000%. So yeah, I've said it. Yeah, it's
Congratulations. Yeah, that's amazing.
thank
You know,
you.
because you shared that with me before. You are so well connected, right? And you've been delivering so much value all of your life. Tell us a little bit about the mindset on where were you with your mindset and what really made it click to then go into monetization.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it was happening at the side, but I wasn't getting the vibes because I'm just someone who is very passionate. I think because of the fact that my working as an IT engineer, I was already covered. I am covered financially. I never really thought of the monetization. But along the side, when I would host these events, you can imagine when I have world leaders in Berlin working with the German Foreign Ministry, they would offer me, to come host the events. And then now I had a friend who said, no, don't tell them how much you want them to pay you. Let them offer. And what they offered to pay me, I was like, wow. And I kept working with these people because I realized money follows passion. If you had the right quality, the right marketing, the right communication and branding, definitely offer the value and people are willing to pay the price. So while I work as an event host and I could see that, I was offering this value with the speakers arena or the returnees project or different sessions in which people asked me how I branded myself or marketed myself. And I told them, I have a team that does that. And this is how the team structures my marketing or communication or branding. But I didn't think, look at the speakers arena, I didn't think that I could put a structure in place which is self-sustainable. It doesn't need me. It doesn't need any of our finances. It would just have the entire, speakers team from all over the world see the value of the platform and want to join. So my mindset, Christine, at the time talking about that was more offer what you've got. But I never thought get a value, get paid for what you offer. Because I knew I had a platform on which I already had, so many sustainable ideas. And to make it self-sufficient, I had to put a structure in place with my team. But I didn't know that I even needed a structure which was going to more like finance it. I just needed a sustainable structure. So when you came in, actually, Christine, you made the clarity there of how to put this in place, how to use the heart. Like you say, heart-centered, right? You work from the heart and offer the value to the people. The value you already offer can be monetized. So it's nothing new, but you can have that monetized on all of your platforms. So my team and I went back on the drawing board after I had the first call with Christine in 2019. And from then till now, I'd say it's a lovely story to tell. It's a success story to tell, and it's thanks to you bringing that mindset shift of how to offer and how to use the heart to reach the people. I already had the advantage that I have a huge network. I already had the advantage that I do offer these services, but how to put it in place or even think of the fact that I could offer it in that way and monetize in that magnitude. Christine, you brought that in, and thank you once more. You gave me that mindset shift, that click. And when I had a meeting with my team from 2019 till now, they do know it's a different person. They don't know I have a very strong mentor behind me, and that's you, Christine. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I just love, so people can see it's like they don't need to get like stuck on their journey. They don't need to get frustrated. It's just like taking the right actions, being authentic, coming from your heart, and then putting in place what you want to put in place, pursuing your passion. Right? You say money follows passion. I say money follows success. So like I feel like having success means to do something you love, right? And that's basically then passion. So we have the same thinking around that. That's so beautiful. So what else would you like to share? Because we kind of have different topics, and I think we also talked about a recent summit that I did. What did you get out of the summit? Like, what made it juicy, and why do you think it's important to consume the content, to really go deep, and also what has it done for you, and Why was a time frame important?
Christine, thanks for that question. You're right. Before I go deep into it, I'll say people really, the word you use, get stuck. Sometimes they're stuck, they don't even know they're stuck. That's another thing. They're stuck, but they don't know they're stuck. But they're thinking something has to happen. What should happen? But I don't know what should happen, but I want something to happen, And for me, that's something happening is actually someone happening. So I just want to, sorry, Christine, to do this, but I have to call on anyone watching this video, get in touch with Christine. Get in touch with Christine with one conversation and then get back to me if you have any question. I believe when you get in touch, you will understand why. There is a mechanism in place when you work with the heart. It is authentic and people see it. They see it in the way you talk. So Christine, answering your question, from being stuck and not even knowing you're stuck to having you unravel a miracle. Everybody looks at a difficult year like the year that just went by, and you're thinking, another year is coming. Is it going to be different? Is it going to be the same? Are we still going to, all those questions are there. What is the beauty of having the last 2 days of the previous year and the first 2 to 3 days of the new year talking about how to reinvent yourself, how to rebrand, how to, put up a new structure despite all that's going on around you, and talking to so many different individuals who have different ways of working. So it's like putting out a manual of the best practices in how to be heart-centered when you want to build your business or rebuild your business or restructure. So when you talk to Christine, you get a lot of value. Another thing which I liked about this summit, Christine, which just ended, is turning the page onto a new year and meeting so many people in different domains who give you these tips and tools, make you run with it. So you start the year already with that high, like, hey, good. That energy is there, like, oh, hey, this is what I could try. And if I don't try this, I'm going to try that. So everybody has a different way of working, but you offer so many different people, so many different master interviews, which you did amazingly well. Thank you for those interviews. You sat back, listened, the people talk and shared so much value. I tell you, I was with a notepad the whole time, writing down what they said and putting that clarity and structure. My request is do that every end of the year. Last 2 days of the year, first 2 or 3 days of the new year. So you close that chapter and open the next page with that energy, that love, that, ready to go on with new ideas, new people, a new mindset. So what it does did for me particularly is, time with family was amazing, was great. We can't go out so much at the moment in Germany where I'm based, but whenever I had the time to go watch for 45 minutes, something which enriched me as a person, it was like a renewal. It was like, oh, what a difficult year it has been. Then you watch someone talking about the mistakes they made and how they overcame it. So they had challenges, but they made it. And then they give you now a structure of how you can make it. So you just sit there smiling and thinking, oh, great, I'm going to try this and I'll try this and I'll try this. And Christine, again, to the viewers, I'm willing to prove this, right? If you want to see more information and get more and understand how Christine made this structure work for me. So the year started and I set a target. I went into one of your classes and I decided I'm going to try this within the first 10 days of the year. And then the next 20 days and 30 days, I put like a 3-step structure. The first week, I hit the target I wanted for the 3 weeks, because I was in that summit. So I know this is new to you, but I put 3 weeks out and I hit it in the first week. And I was like, okay, I definitely have to find time to invest in talking to people and offering the value people have. Because, I have a huge network, and in that network, people have brilliant ideas and they kind of stuck, like you mentioned, Christine. But if we have a platform, either it is the Returnees Project platform or the Speakers Arena platform, on which they can unveil themselves, present their products or services, reach the right market, sell what they have to offer in an authentic way. Again, very important. Integrity is very important in this. You realize that with the huge network we already have globally, the positioning and the right thing to do and how to connect with the people and how to offer value to the people. Trust me, Christine, not wanting to take too much of your time today, but the next summit, I have already so many people willing to book. So that's it. I say thank you to each of the speakers who were on that summit. And keep doing this, Christine. You don't only help professionally in the business way, but you also help privately, because there is that feeling of, oh, what do I do next? But when you come in and you bring this new energy, this renewed energy. So I called you once and I didn't get hold of you, and it was just for 2 words. You know how someone can call you just to say thank you, and that was it. Because both professionally and privately, you brought in exactly what I needed for the turn of the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think it's important because so many people, they go to events, let's just call them events, and then it's like a pitch fest, right? They have a speaker, they talk like on a surface about something, and then it's just about their offers. And that's a totally no-go for what I create. And so often people can't make the distinguish because it might have the same word used for it, like summit, or I call them summits or master classes.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes just summit feels like it's the right word. And I'd also feel that some people are kind of tired of summits because of that structure. So can you say another word about what made the summit special in terms of adding a live event component, and how has that helped you in your business?
Yeah, well, for the summit, I probably you have to take the question again because I didn't quite get what you want to hear from me. But for the summit, the way it changed it for me is just sometimes, especially now that we can go out to face-to-face events, it is important to be able to, when you watch on camera, feel that connection. Feel the level at which the person is knowledgeable in what they are saying, how they give the examples of what they did. How you test just 1 or 2 of them and you realize this works like magic, because exactly that's a word I saw on one of your platforms, magic, right? It works like magic because they are knowledgeable. They're not telling you what they think you could do. They're telling you what they have done over and over and succeeded at it. And they tell you about working from the heart. But I believe you might need to take the question again because I don't know exactly what you wanted to hear from it. Yeah. For me, it was that I could feel they were knowledgeable in what they're saying. So for me, this summit was not just a summit like any other. I don't even book too many summits, right? I book summits that speak to me. And this particular one, when you started watching from the first interview, there were 19 videos. For the first to the next and so on and so forth, I could watch till the end because you carefully selected the people who spoke. They were knowledgeable and they knew what they were talking about. And the reason why I always had a notepad next to me is because each interview had something you can take with you. And imagine if each of these people have their ways, their strategies that work. I mean, not going back to my school days and how people will be like, oh, she's an A student. That was at school. I was an A student because I would take knowledge from everywhere and infuse with mine. So I took 19 people who were doing amazing and infused with my passion, my heart, my zeal to always help people. So it was a summit like no other because the knowledgeable people sat there and spoke from experience. And that experience I could take from each of them, the best out of what they said, and then connect with me, both privately and professionally. And within a week, I already started seeing results I expected, or at least my target was to hit that in 3 weeks. So definitely this summit has something about it. And that's why I really request again on camera to have it again at the turn of the year. It's something about, that mindset really clicks very well. And the people you selected, great speakers. Thank you so much, Christine.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah. So my question was, I added a live component. So I added networking meet and greet sessions, which I have not seen in the market at all, because I wanted to also help the participants to come together, to get to know each other. And, I've seen some really amazing things that already have happened, but I'd love to have your point of view of how did it help you? Did you find it useful? And if so, why?
Right. Now I get what you mean. Right. So it was not only the summit per se, like the pre-summit events and how we could meet. Yeah. What I liked about it is, of course, if you just come and listen and go away, you've taken from. But when you're able to exchange ideas and talk. Because you remember the summit itself, I'm just watching and taking notes. But the component where we had now the live sessions and interaction, it's just like the network. Apart from the fact that we cannot hug or shake hands, we are in those breakout rooms, we're talking, you're meeting different people, you're exchanging a lot deeper. So it was very helpful to bring that in. I actually found, I won't mention names now, but I actually found 2 people who were very interesting and interested, let me put it, to be in Germany for the speakers arena as well when next we have the event. So that is it. You put it in a component which made it, I think it made it come alive. It made you feel like you were at the conference. It made you would sit there and you'd be having like your glass of water or your glass of orange juice and you'll be talking to the people. It felt like when we are really there at the events and we exchange face to face. So I like that structure because you could exchange one-on-one or one-on-two with the others and understand how you could also help them. Because 2 of the suggestions or the feedback I got from these I mentioned to you were the ideas which I brought in there for them helped them. So just like I got a lot of ideas out of those breakout sessions, they also got ideas from me. So I think that component made it come to life, before the event and then during the event. And the fact that you gave us the chance to meet such, high profile people, that was, I like that. So count me in again.
Yeah, awesome. Great. So we already talked about like what we did together. What do you think would have happened if we would have not worked together? Where do you think you would be now?
What a question. I love that question. Okay, now let's take privately, right? I'm sitting here, it's the turn of the year. We're having a good time, family time, and that was the focus, and everything is moving on so well with the family. But I haven't yet structured 2021 per se. I'm still not there yet. So that's one thing. If we hadn't worked together, I wouldn't have you at the turn of the year with a structure in place, which within the first week, I already hit the ground going. One. The second thing which would not have happened is the speakers arena. Whenever you put something out there, you need to think long-term as well. Short-term, it was great, amazing. Within 2 months, all these people flying into Germany, having this great stage, 50 speakers, 50 nations. But then what? Sustainability. I hadn't thought about, I knew it was going to work, but I didn't know how. So I needed a structure in place which is sustainable. That way I can go now with consistency, what we offer, what we can get out of the platform. So I believe it would have taken longer. I don't know how much longer to ever get the structure in place. It would have maybe not succeeded the way it is right now, the way we're at, having a look at the website and the speakers booked for the next event. You would notice that I definitely know I would not have had that structure yet. I definitely know I would not have had people booking to come speak the way they're doing. Because if you give the value to the people, what happened again, which I didn't tell you is, Christine, a lot of recommendation. So you have the people who are satisfied with the value they're getting and they're already telling others. So you realize you put a structure in place, which is now the client is doing the marketing for you. How beautiful is that? Just because they are convinced about what is going on this platform. So if we had not met, Christine, it might have taken so long, and I don't know if it would have happened anyways, for me to understand that for this structure to be the way it is and maintain this, because it was like a big, starting and fireworks and everything, for you to make it even bigger. And there is a timing to everything. And I needed you at that point. So I believe we hadn't met at that. I don't know. I mean, look at how the last year was. It might have gone down. And then to get that flame up again might have been very difficult, not even for someone like me who bubbles with energy. But meeting you, most of these things are divine, that divine connection. There is a reason why everything happens. In German, we would say, es gibt keine Zufälle. In English, there are no coincidences. I had to meet you to uplift me both professionally and in my visions, a lot of ways I could help humanity, a lot of ways I could have people's come on a platform, because I believe a vision is like an umbrella and then everybody's dream fits under that umbrella. And for me to keep holding that big umbrella for everyone's dream to fit under, I also needed someone who could be, it's like I'm holding the umbrella now and Christine is now lifting me like, you can do this. This is how you're going to do this and this is how you can. So you gave me that structure. If I hadn't met you, I'd be holding the umbrella. I'd be thinking I'm strong, but I'd be tired. But when you put that structure in, what you gave me, Christine, is sustainability. You made it strong. You made it sustainable. You made it, give the impact you want to the world, touch the people's lives you want, touch the people's businesses the way we want, and of course, give them the value they want in real time, not like wait for years to come, because the results speak for themselves. When the people give us feedback, I'm like, yeah, I think what I'll plan next when you can find time in your busy schedule is for you to talk to some of these speakers and hear what they say about the platform. And of course, you're my joker, I would say, on this. So thank you for asking that question. If I hadn't met you, both professionally and privately, it would have been very tough to get a structure. But meeting you, I'll give you one word, gave me a lovely, lovely peace of mind and joy. It's like peace of mind and joy, doing what I love to do, following my heart, impacting the life, and giving people the value they deserve. And with all the authenticity I've always had, but now with that peace of mind and joy, because everything is structured, everything is in place. And I see that sustainability in all what is happening now. We have so many people connecting, and I know the energy is coming from, yes, we did a great first event, but they see long term. And that is what you gave me. It's like you shifted the maze away, cleared it from my eyes, and you're like, look, Miranda. And I looked around like, whoa. Or actually, better still, I can think of like, imagine I had a castle. Okay, I know I have a castle. It's beautiful. It's big. That's my network. But I don't know the treasures hidden in the rooms. Sometimes I want to visualize. I think of you, Christine. I'm getting emotional because it's so real. It's like you took my hand and you were like, you made me understand both professionally how I can impact people's lives and people's businesses. You showed me the treasures within my community. You showed me the treasures within my vision. You would open one door in the castle and you'd be like, have a look, Miranda. I'm like, wow, I had this all along in here. And then we walk down and you open another door. And I'm like, I had this all along here. And you just did that, pushed the maze away or just dusted things away. And I saw that, all that beauty, all of what I could offer and more to the world. I mean, you need to see the way my structure and everything works now. It's because you've opened my eyes to the treasures I had already within me and within my network and within my teams and within the speakers. So you've made it clear to me that they are there and I see them. The others see them as well. But it's because of that conversation we had, that first conversation and every other conversation thereafter. So, both privately and professionally, my life is much better because you showed me the value. All the compliments, when you Google Miranda Oben, all those things you see about me, they are there, but I didn't see how I could get them even more out. You brought that out. You put that structure, which made me understand it is okay for people to offer, to pay for the services on all these platforms because they get the value. So when I talk of the ROI, it is huge. It is huge. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I just love your story. And, you are a heart-centered, ambitious entrepreneur working also as an IT engineer. Yeah. But there is like this entrepreneurial blood going through your veins. And I just love how you've created that level of success, not even working full time at it, right? So it just amazes me. And I hope that this conversation is so inspirational for people who are watching or listening or maybe reading about it, depending on how we're going to distribute this content. And I just want to thank you because you pushed through this. You didn't give up. You looked for a solution. And that solution is for everyone different. For you, it was like, or for us, it was like getting together and creating that magic. So I just want to say thank you for all the beauty you bring to the world and for being so generous and having such a big vision and being bold, because that will, at the end of the day, make the difference. right? Not just in your life, because that's, you get mirrored what you put out, but like also all the people you can touch through your vision, because it's now clear, it's sustainable, and it's a long-term project that's not going to go away. So again, we're going to put the links to the Speakers Arena on YouTube, on the website, so you can check it out. You can follow Miranda and her beautiful work. And yeah, maybe one day you will be at that stage representing your country, inspiring with your talk and joining in the 50 nations. So thank you so much, Miranda.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Christine, and for everyone watching. Thank you for having been there. And wherever you are, at whatever point you are, just to get unstuck, sometimes you need to look around you and see who can hold your hand. Find your own Christine, or I could give you my own Christine. Thank you.
Thank you.